Welcome to the Sippin' Truth.
That couldn't have worked out any better. Hello.
C'est la vie, as they say.
C'est la vie.
Anna,
Kanan.
first off, I'm now a year older.
Yeah, that's right.
Not from since we recorded, but you know, I'm 31 now, and I definitely feel it. You know, this morning I woke up, and as soon as I got out of bed, it was just like a chain reaction. I stood up, and then my leg popped, but then my ankle popped, and I was like, okay, like
my
as soon as I
goodness.
stood up. So
Crackily crack.
that's what they say. But then, pretty close to my birthday was beach day, which is really cool.
Yeah. But I mean, before even then, I think we need to backtrack. Before even beach day, I mean, like the biggest thing that we went to, which was Family Feast.
Yes. Oh,
That
that was
was
so
great.
sick. Oh my
Yeah.
God. The last one I went to, I think, was like 2 years ago. I don't
Yeah.
think we didn't go last
We
year.
didn't
right?
go last year. Just didn't. I guess maybe we just had things that were going on around the time. So yeah, we definitely want to make it a point this year to go.
Yeah. It's a
And
huge thing.
even though you didn't want to do VIP, I mean, I really wish I would have. And we'll get into why we should have probably got VIP. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. We still got tickets. We still went.
We still got to go and have a time.
Yes,
It's
that-
still pretty nice.
Yeah, we were there almost all afternoon, early into the evening. It was great.
In line, you mean?
Well, in line
Yes.
for merch, it was like Coachella merch, essentially.
Right.
Merch line, I should say. We were in line for, I think you said 2 hours.
Yeah, for about 2 hours. But hey, it was pretty cool. Some of the stuff that they had there, they had that cool Power Rangers looking sweater
the
from Mr.
McCharlie-
Charlie's.
Mr. Charlie's,
Mr.
yeah.
Charlie's. Yeah. And then you and producer ended up getting some pretty cool stuff.
Well, one, I wanted to get there at 12. And I was like, you know, from the videos, it doesn't look like it's too crazy. So I think we'll be okay. I think we met at like 12:30. We got there a little after 1 or something.
Yeah.
And the merch line was hella long.
Right.
And I was just gonna say, you know what, forget it. Let's just go around. But you guys were both like, no, we'll just wait in the merch line. And we were able to eat while we were in the merch line waiting.
Yeah.
So I already had preset in my mind what I wanted. I was like, oh, I want that sweater. I want that sweater.
The camel
Camels.
hoodies.
There was a camel hoodie, and
so
there was
cool.
a no free coffee that I wanted. I was like, yep, these are the two I wanted. You're like, do you even know how much they cost? And you told me, and I was like, I don't care. I want them.
I do not care. When I tell you that camel hoodie, it was very comparable to Coachella, but even more so, I felt like this was more expensive. Because like a hoodie was like top $80 at Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
But here, just because it was so like limited edition, it was like $275 for just the hoodie.
No, not for the hoodie. The hoodie was $180.
Something was $275.
I'm sure maybe there was, but one hoodie was $180, and then the other hoodie I wanted to get was $150.
Okay.
Well, either way, I waited in 2 lines. Is what I
Yes.
really wanted. We got to the front, and I marked on my paper because they give you a paper, mark what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to them. They're like, we don't have it. I was like, okay, well, what size do you have? This size? So they went back. No, all we have is extra large left, and all we have it is in this. I'm like, I don't
You should have
want-
gotten the XL. It wouldn't have been too
no.
bad. It would have been
No,
fine.
absolutely not. So I was pissed off because I'm
coulda
like,
given it to me. What
I
did
was
that-
like, I waited all in line for this. I ended up getting a sweater, which was fine, and that sweater was inexpensive compared to all the other ones. But I even went on their site recently to see maybe if I can just buy it off their site, and they're completely sold out.
Oh, my
And they were
God.
limited edition, so I don't think I'll be able to get one. So
That's true.
it is what it is.
It is what it is. But, I mean, the main thing there, too, of course, was the food.
Yeah.
I came to this thing with a little bit of a tiny, small, mini budget of
And what do you
$0.
mean? Yeah, exactly.
Of like $15, which I didn't end up spending, and I saved my money. But producer was nice enough to get me one of those because it was like a Pokemon collab
Yes.
this time around, which was so cool. So like they had like Pokemon themed drinks. They had a huge inflatable Pikachu and a huge inflatable like Snorlax
Yeah.
in the one corner there. But then the food was great as per usual. Where did you end up going?
I was just
for-
about to be like, well, tell us, what did you eat when you were there at
What
the,
did I eat?
at the Family Food Festival? What was on the menu for you?
Well, the $3 bottle of water.
Okay.
And then the main thing is Hallam Rays.
Yeah.
Hallam Rays because they give out free free chicken
Chicken and waffles.
free chicken and waffles, which is great. I mean, the last time we went, they gave you this whole big cup full of just just chicken strips or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this time they went all out. They had strips of chicken with like one waffle piece, and then they put this like honey butter drizzle on top.
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful. So the funny thing is that your mom
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, bring me some food back. And so, we ended up, I was like, oh, well, the chicken's not like that hot. Like, it was fine.
Okay,
So
not that hot and not hot are two different things. My mom specifically said if the chicken is spicy, then I don't want it. I can't eat it.
but it wasn't, like, to me, it wasn't spicy.
But was it at all spicy? Even if it was just a touch of spice, that means it's spicy.
I don't know.
Either way, she took one bite of the chicken when we got home, and I felt bad because that was her dinner. And
Yeah,
she's just
she
like,
waited
"Look at
all
this
day
chicken."
for this.
She's like, "This chicken is red, Anna. It is red. That means it's spicy." And she took a bite, and she's like, "No, this is spicy." I'm like, "God damn it, Kanan."
But it wasn't even like, I'm pretty sure it was the mild chicken.
She could have
which
died, guys. She could have died.
What did she say? She's like, what is he trying to do?
Yeah.
Kill me?
She's like, "Is he trying to kill me?"
I mean, I didn't see any like pepper flakes on it or anything, which
I
is
should
what
have
they
took a picture of
usually
this
do.
chicken. This chicken was red, guys. Like, she showed
No,
me.
it
I'm like,
was
"Oh,
not.
shoot,
It was
yeah,
like
that's-"
orange,
No.
more than red. It was-
Either way, regular chicken is not orange or red.
Okay.
She ate the waffle the next day, but either way, it was too spicy for her. She couldn't eat it or enjoy it, so therefore it was a flop.
I am so sorry. But if you are not at risk of, not
Possibly dying.
yeah, possibly dying, then Howlin' Rays is for you. That's a
There's
good
a
slogan.
lot of people actually that love Howlin' Rays. It's one little pop up that they have down in downtown LA/Chinatown that
Yes.
always has like a huge ass line for it.
Yeah, every day.
We had producer and I, we shared a few things. Well, one, when we got there, we got the Pokemon drink. I don't remember what my Pokemon drink was, but it was hella hot. We had just come from walking from the car, so like
Right.
I sweat easily. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to sweat, guys. I just need to get something cold in my system, so I like chill out. So they had these drinks, and it basically was just like a mango, with what's it, chamoy like smoothie. Oh, it was so good. It was so refreshing.
Yeah, it was like a slushy, right?
Yeah.
Almost, or like a smoothie.
Yeah,
That's what
I
they
don't
call it.
remember what it was called, but it was great. It was refreshing. You and producer maybe got the same thing?
Yeah,
or-
we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the Pikachu Thunder drink or whatever
Yeah.
it was, which was basically like a pineapple type of drink
Mm-hmm.
with like pineapple boba in it, and
you
like
said
little
boba.
pineapple chunks in it as well. It was pretty good, but like the amount of ice that was in it, it
Oh, yours
just-
wasn't a smoothie.
right. It was
Oh,
not.
okay.
Unfortunately, I would have loved a smoothie,
Mm-hmm.
but instead it was just like I don't know.
Just a cold drink, essentially over ice.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
From Pokemon, we went to the merch line, and then I was like, oh, it was Broad Street, I think Oyster Street Company. I've been there before. They're in downtown LA at the Grand Central Market if you're ever in the area. But they have really good lobster rolls. So I got me and Lisa a lobster roll to share. Actually, no, I got 2 lobster rolls.
Yeah.
And it was
and-
so good. The bun, they butter their buns, let me tell you.
Damn. You love a good buttered bun.
I love a good bun.
Yeah. Fair enough. And then as we were waiting in line, there was also that Toyota, whatever that thing was, they were
Yeah.
advertising. But Exotics Only, which is the snack store where they get imported snacks from all over the place, they were there handing out free, like you could get 2 free snacks.
Yeah.
You just walked in. So I got some stuff and I already ate it. I wish I would have kept it, but
We were supposed to actually eat them today, and I actually have mine in the cupboard. It's funny because my mom went into the cupboard the other day, and she's like, "Oh, these snacks." I'm like, "Oh, don't eat those. I'm saving those for next week."
well, you can still eat them now.
There, it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna eat them now because there's no use for it
No,
anymore.
I mean, like on the pod, you could eat it while
Nah.
we record here.
But yes, we got the exotic snacks. We finally got our merch, and then we were like, okay, what else can we eat? I went with an appetite, so I tried a new burger spot. It was Trill's Burgers, I think it's called. I think they're on Uber Eats too. I'm sure they're all local LA based. But
Yeah.
I had a vegan cheeseburger with fries, and then Lissa got a gourmet burger with fries. Both delicious. It was a smash burger, which I heard are delicious. But they smashed that vegan patty. It was great. Maybe
Damn.
I was also really hungry, so I gobbled that up while Kanan was waiting in line for his chicken. And then we saw people from Wonderlust I don't know if it was bakery or creamery. It's an ice cream spot
Oh,
where it was
right.
the two
Oh, my
Hawaiian
God.
buns.
We have a video of that too. You're gonna
with
see it.
the cube of like strawberry guava ice cream in the middle.
Yeah.
Everyone else was full. I'm like, well, I'm going back in for this, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was so
good.
wild. I've never seen like because it was an ice cream sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like with an actual Hawaiian roll, and you'd think, like I don't, it's kind of weird, but no, it tasted pretty good.
Yeah, it was
great.
delicious. It was
Yeah.
so good. Okay, so this is why I'm saying we needed VIP. As we were sitting there, I shouldn't say sitting, as we were waiting in line, like we're seeing all these people pass by with these like totes. And
Mm-hmm.
I think at one point I was like, oh, I want that tote. When we get up to the front of the merch line, I'm going to also get the tote.
Yeah.
And then I come to find out you only get that tote if you got VIP. And in VIP, there's a VIP area where they give out free food.
Right.
And Mr. Charlie's, which I love, was in the VIP. They weren't anywhere else, just in VIP, giving out free little burgers. But then you also get merch in your tote bag. I just feel like at the end of everything, we tallied up, we crunched the numbers. It was probably more beneficial, at least for me in my eyes, to get VIP than to get a regular general admission pass.
Right.
Because I spent easily more money, or about the same, as
on the stuff.
on the stuff. So I'm
Do
going
you get like
VIP.
priority lines for merch at all, or no?
I don't
I don't
know,
think
but I
so.
think next year I would probably be there when it starts.
Yeah.
I find that outrageous. And we talked about this a little bit. Like, if you know you're going to have an influx of people going to this event, like, I think, at least for your brand, you want to make essentially enough so that maybe you can make profit more money, right, off the things that you're, putting out there.
Yeah.
I get it. It's limited. You can probably resell this stuff. But even then, the fact that we had to wait 2 hours, there's a better system for that.
Right. Maybe how about two merch booth or two merch lines, or like they could have split it up somehow.
But I think we even talked about maybe have an app, and when
Oh,
you're
right.
in it, you know what I mean, put in your bucket what you want, and then maybe come back in an hour, and they should have it packaged and ready for pickup.
Right.
And if it's not a villain, it's grayed out. You know what I mean? Sorry, sold out already.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, there are scalpers that'll
Oh yeah.
hack this. There's always a way to if only it was linked to if in the app you link your ticket, so then you can only do
yeah.
one purchase per ticket or something
Yeah.
like that. That would be a much better system
Yeah.
than whatever
There's just-
the
there
hell
has
that
to be
was.
just a better-
Or even just being able to see the inventory or on
Or
the screen.
clearly marked next to the
If it's
sweater,
sold out.
sold out.
Right.
Because then
Which they
I
did not do.
probably would have just been all right, well, that's really all I wanted, guys. We can leave the line.
Right. And
I
we could
felt
have
bad.
done other stuff.
Because then literally we're up in there and we're just okay, well, I already waited this long. I'm going to walk away with something. But now it's just cycling through, what can I get then? And I feel bad because it's just they pass that paper to somebody else. It's their runner. Their runner goes to see if they have it, and then they bring it back to let you know. I'm there's a million people behind me. I feel bad. Come on, guys.
Coachella does it right. First, they will mark if it's sold out. They'll put a sign right
Yeah.
next to the thing. But then also, when you get up to the front, they have an inventory system that's digital. So it's hey,
Yeah.
do we have this? Oh, no, in our system, it says we only have one available left in 3XL.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more manageable. You don't have to have a runner, going back and forth. It's just we know if we have it here and now or not.
Yeah.
So...
Maybe they'll listen to this and be yo, we got to put a strategy together for next year. Or hit us up.
Guys, the sip and truth.
We can get this figured out for you.
Exactly. So I think what we should do is twice a year. So we have Coachella in the first half of the year,
Yeah.
and then Family Style Feast in the second half. So we have two main things
Yeah.
that we do throughout the year. That's the thing that we spend the most money on.
It's the tradition, yeah. And I mean,
We're
yeah,
setting-
Family Feast is definitely not as expensive as Coachella, but it could get up there.
I mean, that is true.
Considering some of the merch that we pulled the trigger on. But it was cool. I got a real cute sweater. The weather here has been up and down. It's just we're in a heat wave, and then we're fine, and then we're in a heat wave. Kanan comes over here in a sweater and sweats. I'm you're not hot? He's yeah, I'm dying. I'm oh, brother.
I'm fine now. It's cooled. It's cooled down outside. I think I'm pretty sure. So it's perfect weather for me. But then literally the next day was beach day,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
is nuts.
I guess it was more beach evening-ish. Well,
evening-ish.
we didn't go until I think later in the evening. Essentially, we wanted to do a bonfire. We had talked about it last time we did beach day, and this was just a smaller group.
Yeah.
So I don't think we got out there until like I didn't get out there until like 3. This was the new beach that we got out to. Went to Dockweiler, because last time we went to Manhattan Beach, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Dockweiler has a pit, so that when we wanted to have a bonfire, so
They have multiple pits, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
they had pits everywhere.
Yeah, and then parking was only $9, which is not bad.
But parking, at least you can park right in front versus walking. Well, I mean, luckily we were safe last time. We got a spot right in the front, but all our friends essentially had to walk a mile or something, and bringing all their stuff. No.
Yeah, and then even when you do park, you have to move your car within a certain amount of hours.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. So Dockweiler is definitely a much better choice for that.
For some, REJ hates that. I don't think it's your favorite of it either. It's only because the airport is literally down the street.
Right.
So
and the airplanes are.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be talking to somebody, and it's like literally an airplane's going, and you're like, huh? What? Just wait. Just wait.
Just wait. But it teaches you patience and maybe being more actively like listening. You know, it teaches you like, hey, maybe I need to be more thoughtful of the words that I'm
Say
saying.
it closer to my ear because I can't hear what you're saying.
Whisper it,
Yeah.
please.
But it was fun. You missed out on the potato wedges.
Oh my God, the alleged potato wedges.
You
Wedged.
said you didn't get any last time, so I made it a point. Well, Kenny
Right.
didn't come until much later, but
Right.
me and my sisters ended up being there, and we saw our good friends Bex. Shout out Bex and
Oh,
Chris.
shout out Bex and
they were
Chris.
there. Bex made her amazing chicken salad, so we had chicken salad sandwiches with the Hawaiian rolls again. I brought potato wedges and some chips, some drinks, and I got a pound and a half of wedges too. It was a big ass bag of wedges, and I was
No
so
way. Oh
Way.
my God.
way. And as soon as I got there, they're like, "Hey, where are the wedges?" I'm like, "Here you go, guys."
There's no way.
I'm dead ass.
Oh my God.
Ari, like I mentioned, had brought the wok and some chips. He bought some drinks.
I'm very jealous.
Brendan and Mikey brought the stuff for the bonfire, the s'mores. We had a new friend in attendance, Anthony, which I met for the first
Oh
time.
yeah, Anthony, right,
Yeah,
right.
so it was nice to meet him.
And who made a guest appearance?
Ooh,
None other than Brenny.
Brenny was there. Brenny Lewis came.
Yes.
It was funny because I think they got off of work a little bit late, and Lewis is like, "Are you still there?" And I'm thinking, listen, make sure that Lewis rolls up with my freaking In-N-Out, my grilled cheese. Lewis, you know I love you. I appreciate you bringing it last time. But yeah, I'm glad they were able to show up, and they came right when we were making the s'mores, so it was perfect.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, the s'mores were so good and delicious. You missed it. I was making s'mores for everybody.
Oh yeah. Well, when I
Oh, wait, I
eventually
didn't-
got there, you offered. You're like, "Do you
Oh.
want a s'more?" I'm like, "No, it's okay."
Jerk.
But but it was so funny because the last time we had a beach day, Lewis showed up probably about 30 minutes before we all packed up and left. And
That
so
was you.
this was me this time, and I did say that to the group as well. I was like, Lewis, I was Lewis this time because I literally showed up very late into the evening, and because I had prior like birthday plans that it was just the timing of it all. So I ended up watching a movie and then making it with 30 minutes left. I drove out all that way.
I know. I was
It
just
was
like,
it was a hassle too.
yeah, I know. I didn't see my phone because I really didn't have it on me, but
Yeah.
I was just like, I think by the time I text you and be like, yeah, I think you had mentioned like I'm almost or I'm about to leave or something like that, and I'm just like, oh, well, we're about to leave soon, and then you're like, you just walk up. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to leave soon.
Yeah, we're about to.
Well, we
a
were there
lot,
3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. We were there for a few hours.
Yeah.
It was getting cold. It's starting to get like the mist from like the ocean, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the
yeah.
windows were all foggy. I was sorry. All you can smell is the smoke from the bonfire. Well, we'll probably do another one. I had talked to Brendan.
Probably.
Yeah, I know we will. I talked to Brendan the other day about it because when we were there, his team was playing the Ravens, so he had his iPad out and he was watching. But I was talking to him yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, you know, it'd be really cool though, since you had that. It'd be cool to have some sort of like projector or like something we can put out there while
Yeah.
we have a bonfire." He's like, "Yeah, we're actually thinking about possibly doing that." So it's like, "Yeah, that'd be so cool." And then we can literally kind of just did what we did last time. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my God. I did remember though. I got the chicken salad mixed up when we were eating it. Well, one, again, Bex makes two different salads. She makes one that's for everybody, that's real chicken, and then she makes one that's for me, especially because I don't eat chicken. I eat fake chicken. So my other sister was with us, Becca, so we shared it. And at one point, I guess the bowls got mixed up. So I put one on maybe a chip, or maybe I was making a sandwich, and I ate it. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Is this real chicken?
Oh, no.
And I turned to Beck. She's like, yeah, I think that's the real chicken. But the crazy thing is, I was like, I don't like it. And I immediately went back to like the other chicken. So it's weird to me that I knew it didn't taste right and then I didn't like it, which makes me kind of sad, because if I were to go back, I would want to go back to chicken. But
Well, I think it depends. I mean, if you had just straight up
Fried
meat,
chicken?
fried meat, it might be a different story.
Yeah, I don't know, but that kind of made me sad. Either
Yeah.
way,
I don't know.
oh well. But
We
again,
should get some KFC and maybe.
I don't know if I would do KFC. I'd probably do Jollibee.
Oh, okay.
Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Jollibee?
Jollibee.
I'm only seeing people eat it, and it looks fantastic. And I've heard it's better than any chicken, or any other chicken like KFC. So, if I were to go back, I would definitely go there and get a bucket. Nope, I'd get one drum.
Just one drop.
Yeah, I don't want to spend money on a bucket. What if I'm just like, I don't like it?
That's true. Well, then
Waste
you
of
give it
money.
to me, and then that's fine.
Oh God,
I'll eat the whole
is it
bucket.
spicy? No,
It's
it's
not
perfect.
not at all. Your mom's gonna prank me one day. She's gonna be like, "Oh, this is really good. It's not spicy," and then it's gonna be like
It's just gonna be
da bomb.
It's just gonna be ground up vegetables molded into a chicken, breaded.
Oh my
and then you're gonna
God.
bite into it.
One of my friends in college, I never forgave them for, because they once made me brownies as like a gift. I'm like, "Oh, that's
Okay.
so nice." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, we mix broccoli in here," and I'm like, "I hate you."
But did you eat
forever.
it?
Well, yeah, I ate it, but it wasn't until after, and they told me, and
But did you
the whole feeling of me being deceived was the thing that got
Oh
me.
my God! But could you
But-
tell?
no.
Okay.
Not one
See?
bit.
That's how we gotta sneak them in.
No,
Just
no,
over-
no, I don't want that. I don't want. No, because then you're killing me.
Oh
You're
God!
killing me.
As he's killing my mom.
So-
We're secretly killing him. All right. On
Oh.
a real sad update, to everybody out there that's been curious or been reaching out to me, the inevitable finally happened. My toenail fell off.
Oh my God.
And I think
Oh,
I
no.
told you this, right? Or I didn't. I think I
You might
shared it.
have.
So one day, guys, I was like, let me check it. Because, again, the nail was just purple. And it hasn't been bothering me. And I went and I pulled back. I'm like, oh, this is dead. I basically can let me just pull this all the way back. I pulled it all the way back and it just came off. And washed it up real good. But the toenail is officially gone. Because when we were at the beach, I had it. It recently fell off. So it must have been like 2 or 3 days, I think, before we went to the beach. And I was kind of nervous because I didn't want my toe to get infected or anything.
Right.
I mean, there's like, you can tell the toenail is growing back, but it's just like really thin and like barely there. But I basically bandaged it up. And I showed you, I think. I'm like, look, my poor toenail.
Oh, you showed me the bandage.
I
Yes,
showed it,
that's
yeah, I
true.
showed.
That's
I
true.
didn't want to just be out there.
No, I'm like, you better not show me that. You
I
better
was
not
gonna take
be-
a picture and show. I know Leo's been dying to see what it looks like, but
Oh my
it has officially fallen off.
Wow.
And now I'm just waiting for a new one to grow. So, luckily,
You're gonna have to update us on your toenail. You should make a separate Instagram account for your toenail.
One
just to
week.
give- 1 week. I'm
yeah.
thriving.
I was gonna essentially just send you pictures of the toenail, like the toenail itself, the clipping, but
Absolutely not.
I didn't. I just threw it away. I'm like, oh, I knew this was gonna happen, but
I mean, do it if you like to, but
it's too late. I mean, it's already trashed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it still purple though? Is your toe still purple?
No, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just there with no toenail.
Or it's just not there, I guess.
Yeah, no, yeah, sad. But that hasn't kept me from going to the gym and working out and running. I've been consistent.
Yeah. What's been your recent adventures with the gym? Any cool things going on?
My sister Becca, shout out Becca, works at a studio down in an area of town. I was like, what area is it? It's Studio Gym, and they do different classes. And she invited me to go, so I've done a few of those. And then our good friend Brendan, who's also working out, I invited him to come with me to take a class one day, and he said yes. And we took a class. This was probably one of the harder classes that I've taken since I've been there, because this guy who led the class is a runner, a marathon runner. So he does, it's HIIT classes essentially. So they're different stages, but
HIIT.
HIIT.
Right.
And this was intense. It's an hour class, and it was just, I've never burned so many calories in a class before. He almost, I think, blew almost 1,000 calories that class. I think I was a little over maybe 600. Either way, it was an intense hour. And there was this part in the class where they have these ski machines. And if you're not familiar with the ski machine, is essentially you're standing there and they have like these ropes up top and you pull the ropes down. It's like resistance.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So you're,
is it like an endless loop of rope or something?
No, like essentially, like you pull it down and then the rope goes back up. You pull it down, the rope goes back up. I'll maybe have to show you what the exercise looks like.
Okay.
But it's a full body workout. And at the end of the class, when we're finally done, they put us in 2 different teams. Of course, Brendan's on the other team.
Of course.
And of course, we're matched up where we're going head to head on this. The goal was whoever gets to, I think, burning, I don't know what, maybe 100 calories as a team is the winner. The loser essentially has to run like a lap around the gym or whatever. And the team was broken up evenly, so every person essentially would burn 20 calories and it would total 100. And essentially,
Well, good thing you're not competitive.
Whatever. I wasn't paying attention. Of course, Brendan was paying attention. And at one point, we are essentially going head to head. And I guess he's going full force. And I just hear my sister said, like, okay, he just, like, Brendan switched. Like, essentially, you got to hurry because we need to switch to the next person.
Yeah.
So I end up finally finishing my 20, and I look back to see where he was or to be like, hey, good job. And I don't see any sign of him. And I'm just like, oh, God. I'm like, I know exactly what happened.
Is he, like, ahead of you?
No, well, essentially, he, like, left the area because we're in, like, we're in a studio. So he's not in the studio anymore.
Oh.
He left the studio. The teams are essentially finishing, and like we finish, our team lost by like 2 or 3 calories or whatever. And Brendan comes back in, and I walk over to him, and I was like, "You threw up, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, I threw up."
Oh my God! Oh no! Damn!
It's intense. He's just like, "Yeah, that competition." He's like, "It took it out of me." He's like, "As soon as I finished and I handed it to the next person, he's just like, I had to go."
Oh
I was just like, "That's how you know you went hard, dude." He's just like, "I had to. I saw that it was me and you, so I had to go all out."
You look pretty good.
Yeah.
You did not look like you threw up at all. You look very,
I was just
very
like,
good.
oh, I get it. It was intense, and he's been sore ever since, and we took that class on Friday.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
And now it's Monday.
Yeah,
so
and I asked him
as
how
we're
he was
recording.
doing today, and he's like, my bones are mush.
Mush. Don't think I haven't forgotten about Orange Theory. That's,
Yeah, we got to do that at some point.
what if I already have?
You haven't.
No. But I've thought about surprising you and one day doing it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I definitely, you know what? Why don't we do it this month?
Yeah. You let me know when, and when you set it in stone, then I know we're serious.
Okay. What I would need you there and Brendan there, and that's it. Maybe Andy if he wants to show up.
Ooh, I would love that.
That'd
Yeah.
be sick.
Because that's what we did. We said we'd try to take a class every week just in order to keep the momentum up.
And I got to keep my promise. I gotta keep myself accountable to, because I've said to Sip and Truth that I'd do it. I've said to
Yeah.
you that I'd do it.
I
And
know.
I can't keep putting it off.
You got to get on board.
Yeah.
We
I want to
gotta
throw up.
We got to be Coachella ready by next year.
Oh, I know. I got to get
If
shoes.
you're gonna wear crop tops, then you got to be Coachella ready.
Are you gonna like? Oh, you know what we should do? We should pick each other's outfits for
Oh,
Coachella
God.
next
Yeah,
year.
okay.
You pick mine, and I.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one. That's fair. And then we wear it on a day and we film it. That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Is that a good idea?
I like
Let
it.
us know.
I'm down for it.
Also, you've seen some movies. I watched Howl's Moving Castle
Mm-hmm.
again because the Studio Ghibli, however you like to pronounce it,
Ghibli.
they have those events where you can see them. So I saw it. It was very fun. I saw it with one of my friends, Olivia, and she this is her first Studio Ghibli film. And after immediately after the credits rolled, she's like, "That is the weirdest movie I've ever
wow.
seen in my life," but like in a good way, I guess. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's not for everyone." As
Yeah.
we're finding out here, I would never show you that film ever.
I'd probably never watch it, but that's just personal preference.
Right.
That's all.
Of course. But then you went to the theaters and you saw.
You haven't been to the theater since our last episode? Wow.
No, I have not.
That's wild.
Because like the movies that I want to see are not the same ones that you want. Like I want to see The Wild Robot, and I want to
Oh,
see.
yeah. We did talk about potentially watching that. I just don't know when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also, apparently, Transformers, the new
No.
one, is apparently really good, and they just marketed it really bad.
You can watch it and then let me know how it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I could do exactly what you're about to do, which is tell us what happened. What did you see?
Well, I'm not going to tell. I have people that are actually going to tell for us.
Well, the first one, we're not going to intro it at all. We're just going to let the people say what the movie is, and through context clues, I want you to guess what the movie is.
I'll talk about it afterwards.
So here is the first movie review sent by a bunch of people.
Okay, where do I start? The Substance. I really loved it. It just kept going and going and going. I really like how it doesn't settle on whether you should be beautiful or whether you should be, hateful to yourself. It kind of allows both in the most extreme ways. And I think it's really relatable to probably women. It's relatable to me, for sure. I'm so gross. Hey, I kind of look good today. What do I need to do? Some people are doing this. Some people are doing that. I'm doing a little bit of this. I'm doing a little bit of that. But I can just see how it'll get worse and worse and worse if you don't protect yourself mentally and emotionally.
Short and sweet. It is the best picture of the year, hands down, no contest.
Okay. How about Brendan?
So my experience with Substance was crazy because there were so many moments where I was like, dude, I love this, but make it stop. Dude, this is a fantastic movie. Why is it still going on?
Thank you,
Wow.
everybody who submitted real quick reviews of the movie. Let me just say this: The Substance is the movie we're talking about. It is by far one of the best movies I've seen so far this year, hands down. Demi
Really?
Moore and Margaret's character, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but Demi Moore in particular, fantastic job. I think for those men specifically out there that don't care for it or don't understand it or think it's just like any other movie, don't understand what the meaning was behind it. Essentially, yes, it's about a woman who Demi Moore plays, who just turns 50 years old, and she's essentially in film where she's on TV and she does like this Jane Fonda essentially workout thing. But her boss, who's played by Dennis Quaid, is this gentleman that's, okay, she's washed up, she's old now, we need somebody younger, prettier, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So of course she overhears this and feels some type of way and was just like, well, I don't want to be replaced, or I don't think I'm worthy anymore. So essentially she finds this substance which she takes, which is, if you've ever seen Death Become Her with Goldie Hawn and
Dennis Quaid.
No, Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, and Bruce Willis. Fantastic movie, actually. It's essentially the same thing. They take something that makes them more youthful and younger looking, but how it just plays out is grotesque in the most amazing way. I could not look away from the movie screen. It's great to see it with a crowd of people because you get the oohs and ahs and like, oh my God, this is so gross and disgusting.
Damn.
But essentially the premise is like we do things because male society makes us feel like if we're not younger, if we're not prettier, if we're this and that, then we have to be this way, or we don't have any self-worth in this world. So I think it just goes on a deeper level of what we're going to do extreme-wise to kind of go to those lengths.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do say that towards the end, there's like 20 to 30 minutes where it should goes hard. But I think it just brings to the fun of the movie.
Oof.
I had Ari and Brendan, who went to see this movie with me, like completely like, and didn't want to look at the screen.
Yeah.
But I think they understood the message of it. And although I don't think Brendan would watch it again, I would love to have this in my collection.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I have not seen it, so I can't speak
Yeah.
to it. I feel like a
And
lot
I
of the
don't
films.
think you would be able to see it.
No, probably not. I feel like a lot of the films that stuck out to me this year were films that made me really uncomfortable, or like films that are conveying a message that like is very obvious and clear, but they go to great lengths to really dig it in. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, like, of course, Saltburn is an easy one where I feel very uncomfortable the whole time, and like they could have let a scene end early, or they could have had something end early, but they really want to. And I'm thinking of Iron Claw, where it's like, you know, there's just so much that, like, I don't want it to go further, but then it does. It goes past that. So is Substance kind of like that, where it's like there's a lesson here, and it's not only I want you to learn it, is it like I want you to, like, feel it.
Yeah.
Is it like one of those?
I think for the most part. And it's in some moments where it could be grotesque, it's like really sad. I think there's this moment that sticks out in particular is essentially there's two parts of it. It's you take this substance and you're this other person, this younger version, this more prettier version, this person that's essentially going to get all the roles and the fame. People are going to acknowledge you, etc. And then there's the other person where it's just like you're living this double life where like this is the depressed side, like, you know, like no one's out there that's going to pay attention to you. But essentially in Demi Moore's characters, there's this one person from back in her childhood that's like, oh my God, you are so beautiful, you still are, like you're on TV. And she's getting ready to go on a date with this person. And she just looks in the mirror, I don't know how many times, and she just never feels like she's good, like looks good enough to go, or she just doesn't go.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, like I think so many people, and I guess you don't have to be female to relate to that, but it's just like one of those things where it's just like, I don't know if I'm ready to do this, and you just get so into your head about it where you're just like, yeah, I'm not good enough to go.
Yeah.
Like I'm not pretty enough to be with this person, et cetera, et cetera. It was a really tough scene to get through because like she goes crazy, and it's just like internally I think a lot of people can deal with that or deal with that.
I think that probably would have fucked me up pretty bad. Because this is stuff that I kind of deal with sometimes where, you know,
Yeah.
I struggle with the way that I look every now and then, well, most of the time. But, well, I'm down to watch it. I think I'm going to wait till it comes out.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it with you, and then you can film my reaction. And maybe.
Yeah, you have to have a tough stomach. I heard after I saw it, people left the theater because they were throwing up.
What?
There was one scene in particular where I'm like, oh yeah, that's like I had to kind of turn. I'm like, that's a little tough for me to watch.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'll take I'll take something for my stomach before
it was
take
funny.
some Dramamine or something.
Because Brendan made it like just in time, and he always has like his popcorn. And I just remember, even though he was like 2 seats down from me, you can hear when somebody's eating popcorn.
Absolutely.
And like the movie's starting, and he's like, and then as it starts to get into these heavy scenes, you just don't hear it anymore. And I think the popcorn went down. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it.
Oh my God. Well, on a similar kind of note, but different, Megalopolis, I was chomping down that popcorn the whole time. Yeah, because I just remember when we were listening to this that I had seen a movie.
Yeah,
we saw Megalopolis since our last experience. We can talk about it briefly.
Well, I just didn't care for it, and I know people will be upset. I know people really enjoyed it. I get the premise. I don't know. It wasn't for me. It's not a movie I would watch again. Our friend Ari had sent us a New York Times article about like maybe a deeper understanding of it, and I think in our group message it was like, listen, I don't know what I just saw, and I don't care if I ever know what I just saw. Like I'm not gonna research this.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, yeah. I think it's hard when you see articles like that, because it's like you shouldn't have to read an article to get an explanation of what the film is. If the film did not do a good job of explaining that or making it clear, then that's not on the viewer's fault. Yeah. What do you think of this boner I got?
Oh God.
And then he pulls out the
club.
So go back to the club. But I will say it was fun to watch it in the theater with people, because we were all laughing at the ridiculous spots every now and then.
Yeah.
And there was just some stuff, like, I've been watching, like, I see clips on Twitter of people, and, like, when he first, we'll cut this out, but when he first emerges after his face got shot,
yeah.
he unwraps the thing, and it plays, like, this, like, sitar music or whatever. It's like, meow, meow, meow. It's like, what is happening? But anyway.
It was one of the movies where I was like, when is this going to end?
Right, and it seemed super long, but when they said it was only like 2 hours and something, I'm like, what?
I thought this movie was going to be well over 3 hours, is what I heard. But then
Right.
Ari corrected me, and it was like, it's only 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. This movie seemed like an eternity. I was just like, when is this going to end? Like, I was like, the parts I was laughing, I'm like, is this movie funny? Like, I get the satire. I get what it's trying to, put out there. But I'm just like, that's not for me.
Yeah. Well, there was a movie that seems like it might have been for you, potentially. The new Joker movie, Folie à Deux, potentially. I don't know. But I did not see this film. I know that leading up to it, there was a lot of excitement. The trailer, everybody was like stoked for.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll probably watch it, probably not on day one, but I'll probably plan on seeing it at some point.
Have you watched the first one?
Yeah.
It's not like if
The
you
first one I saw in theaters, and I was like blown away. It was
if
like,
you
oh my
are
God.
going into it thinking it's a Joker movie, then I can tell you right now it's not.
Okay. Which is interesting, because usually if it's, like, if you think it's going to be a Joker movie, and it's a Joker movie.
Well, is it a Joker movie?
if it's called Joker.
It's called Joker. You'll understand when
What?
you see it.
Okay, sure. But I think, because the hard thing is, I've been reading a lot of reviews, and not that it sways me, but, like, I think a lot of the negative stuff has come from people who, like, are expecting something involving Joker, but it doesn't seem like it is.
No.
If it was maybe marketed as something else, maybe if it was just a standalone film that had maybe someone just dealing with mental health issues, maybe it probably would have been acclaimed better. I don't know. I don't mind musicals. I like musicals, so I think I'd probably be okay with it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
what did you think of it?
I
We
actually-
have, well,
I know we have some people, and we can play these, who actually reviewed it as well.
all right, so let's listen to these.
As far as the Joker, Folie à Deux, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Sorry, pardon my French. Throughout most of the movie.
So
but
Megalopolis
by
for
the
you.
end, no spoilers, I really, really kind of got it. And then at the end, I kind of loved it. So that's that. Hopefully you like that.
Short and sweet, Joker will go down as one of the most misunderstood masterpieces of all time. I think the movie is about the audience.
Yeah. and
Interesting.
You have to see it to understand it.
It's about the audience.
I watched it. We watched it super late. It was actually just me and Ari who went to watch it. We watched it in IMAX. It was beautiful.
Oh, wait, but weren't you supposed to go with Kuz? Wasn't that the whole thing?
He had saw it previously. We saw it on Friday. So Ari had got his ticket to go on Thursday, and he was too tired, so he didn't make it on Thursday. So Kuz and I already had saw it, which Brendan had. Long story short, me and Ari ended up going to see it. Brendan was too tired because we took our workout class in the morning.
Okay.
Ari still wanted to watch it, and I'm like, hey, I'm down. I'll still go with you if you want to go. So me and Ari went. And I went into it with really no expectation. I've heard all these things that it was a musical. I didn't know how that was going to be like woven into the story. And I saw the first one. I loved the first one, but I didn't watch it again before going into this, which you don't have to. But it was not what I expected. Me and
Okay.
Ari sat there for a minute afterwards, and I can't say I immediately loved it. I was just like, interesting.
Yeah.
But for this, I did go and do some research and kind of was just like, okay, like with the underlying premise of the story. And then once I started reading things, then the more I sat with it, I was just like, okay, that's actually a really good movie.
Huh.
Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would watch it again. And everybody that I've talked to that asked if it is a musical that I've told, they're just like, it's not for me. I don't want to watch it. And I
Yeah.
don't want to give too much away because I think that goes into the story. But I think I was telling Leo, I'm like, I think you have to go into it with an open mind.
I mean, yeah, I think that's just good advice for anybody who's seeing anything
Yeah.
review wise. It's like just go in with an open mind
Yeah.
and like, you know, don't let what other people are saying affect you. Like
Yeah.
I plan on seeing it at some point,
Yeah.
like not theater,
Yeah.
not when it's out in theaters.
Yeah.
Like
But
in a month when it releases digitally. Right? They already announced the Steelbook and everything.
Oh, shit.
Like coming out, like I think next month. Anyway.
Damn. I will agree with Ari. Like after everything ended, and then kind of again when I kind of got into a little bit more of the ending, I'm like, oh shit. I 100% agree with Kuz. It's for the audience, and I think it makes more sense when you watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's tough because again, I don't want to ruin it, but it's just like it's for the audience, but I feel like the audience is not gonna like it. But I think that's what makes it great is because you're not supposed to. Like you need to
so
understand.
they intentionally made a bad film so that it's a reflection on the audience.
I think you just have to watch it to understand. But it's kind of like yes, but I don't want to say it's intentionally bad. I think it was meant with purpose. Yeah.
I feel like that's just an excuse for
No,
that
like
people
it's
made.
hard for me to like explain exactly what it is without
Okay.
giving too much away.
Yeah, well, I just know that even the first Joker film, I remember like it
People had
makes
so many
sense.
bad reviews about it too. Like when I looked back and like I think on Rotten Tomatoes, they're pretty close right now
Yeah,
to when the first one came out.
yeah. Well, I mean, but when I'm thinking about the first Joker, I like, of course, you know, the negative reviews and stuff. Like, it wasn't tied to anything Batman. I think like maybe people were expecting that, but for me, I always saw it as a film of like just someone. They're using Joker as like a funnel to tell the story, not necessarily. Anyway, but it's just like Arthur Fleck or whatever his
Yeah.
name is, like going through something, and it's a commentary on like how society treats people with mental health, and it talks about that. So I'm wondering if this one, I mean, I'll have to watch it, but like I'm not expecting it to relate to Joker as much, but more on just like Arthur and his journey. And, you know, I think I saw somewhere someone said it was like a cautionary tale, which I think would make more sense of just like, just removing Joker from it. It's just like a character's maybe downfall or like,
Yeah,
something to
in a
be
sense.
mindful of. Anyway.
It was good. Yeah, I recommend it. If you're not against a musical, I would say they advertised Lady Gaga a lot for
Lady
this movie,
Gaga!
and she was not in as much as I thought she was going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going to be like a
Nope.
2 for 2.
And I just recently read that I guess they cut 4 major scenes that she was in. So I was like, oh,
Interesting.
okay, well, yeah, go watch it. I would love to hear your reviews on it. And also speaking about movies, because we're in spooky season.
Spooky season.
We're in October.
Yes,
I
we
wanted to also, because, I have some time on my hands right now, to try to catch like a scary movie every day. So I've had a ton of time to be able to do that. I've actually watched at least 1 to 2 films a day.
A day.
Yeah,
Wait, like 1 to 2. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume you have a list on you.
I do. I'm going to go through it real quick because
Okay.
we're currently on day. I haven't watched my movie today yet, but I'm going to shout out Robin because I texted Robin and I told him this is what I wanted to do for the month of October, and he recommended some movies for me. So I will say one of the movies he recommended was Let the Right One In, which is a Swedish film. It was great. So thank you, Robin, for recommending that movie. I saw it with my mom. So if you have any other ones or if anybody has any recommendations, please let me know so I can put it on my list. I'm trying to go old school movies, but
Just watch the classic Universal monsters.
I don't know what that is.
You mean like the Universal, the early
Oh,
Universal?
I thought you meant just in general, like a movie that was like Universal Monsters.
No, they haven't.
I was like,
No, like the old, even before the
Nosferatu, the very
Right.
first one.
Nosferatu, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein.
Okay, yeah, I
That's not
haven't-
horror. That's more like
Yeah, I'm looking for scary.
Okay.
But this is what I got so far: Trick or Treat, Doctor Sleep, which was fantastic. So I also saw The Shining because I saw Doctor Sleep. I saw Let the Right One In.
You
I saw
haven't seen The Shining before?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Substance, that definitely goes into horror. I saw Salem's Lot. I saw the new one that's on HBO Max. So if you have HBO Max and you love Stephen King, I recommend that movie. It was pretty good. Hold Your Breath, which is another movie on Hulu with Sarah Paulson that just came out. So if you're a Sarah Paulson fan and you want to see a crazy movie for free, if you have Hulu, watch that. I wouldn't put Joker in there, but I did see Joker. The other day, I saw Misery. Great movie with Kathy Bates. They have some parts where you kind of have to look away because there's that one scene with the leg. If you know what I mean, you know. Urban Legends.
Okay,
That's a
I
great one.
remember that. I've seen that
Yeah.
film. That was like that. I felt like that was on Sci-Fi a lot.
Possibly. But again,
Wasn't that like in a radio station or something? I remember there was like urban legends because they were all just like, it's an urban legend, and then the things would actually happen.
yeah, it was a school, but
Yeah. Oh, okay.
it was in a university. I forget her.
Have you watched The Faculty
I've watched that. Yeah.
damn it.
With Josh Hartnett.
and Elijah Wood?
Yes. I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it yet for October. I don't know if I'll watch it, but I'll probably get there.
Oh, you already have a list for the movies you're gonna watch?
No, but I think mental. Like I'll go through because every like streaming service right now has everything for Halloween or spooky season.
I got some recommendations for
Okay.
you.
The Shining, like I said, I saw. Great freaking movie. Silence of the Lambs, I watched that last night with Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins. If you know, you know. So good.
What do you mean? If you know, you know. That's like the most popular thing.
Oh,
Yeah, the
was
Fava
great.
Beans. I haven't seen it honestly, but I know that.
Because I watched The Substance, I was reading too, like, the movies that it kind of, like, depicts. When I saw The Substance, I immediately thought of Carrie. So if you haven't seen Carrie, there's this one scene where, like, the pig's blood, that is great. So that's on my list to watch next. I need to watch Carrie. And then what was it? Oh, The Fly, which is on my list to watch
With
as
Jeff
well.
Goldblum?
With Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, because that's what I've.
I haven't
Yes, The
seen that
Substance
either.
is a mix of Carrie, The Fly, Showgirls, and there is one more, and I don't remember what it was, but
Mean Girls.
no, definitely not that. But yeah, so anything. I mean, hopefully this goes up soon so I can put my stuff on the list. Yeah, but I'm going old school movies like Pet Cemetery.
Nothing by Stephen King. I haven't heard
Well,
any.
yeah, Miseries by Stephen King.
All right,
Salem's Lots by Stephen
Well,
King.
all right.
Pet Cemetery, Stephen King. The original.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I love it.
I
It's
mean,
great.
it's so funny. Like, I'm not a big fan of horror films, but I play this video game all the time. It's called Dead by Daylight, and literally, it's like you're trying to escape some killer in some form. So sometimes, and there's one killer and 4 survivors, and there's like the killer is like you could be Ghostface, you could be what's the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
They
Actually,
have-
thank you.
yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
They have
the
like
original.
all of the classic like horror villains, and they even have from Alien. They have the
Predator. Alien.
no Predator, but they have the Alien. They have the Xenomorph,
Oh,
as
Xenomorph, gotcha.
as a oh Chucky. Have you ever watched Chucky?
Yeah, I've watched all of them. I was just rewatching them.
Saw 2, Saw 3,
Yes.
Saw 4.
Actually, because I think the Saw movie came out last year. You didn't go with us to watch it because you don't like that stuff.
Well,
but we
I like Saw, surprisingly.
Whatchamacallit, before I went to watch that Saw that came out last year, I watched all the Saws, so I'm all caught up on that.
Is that the one that was the spinoff, the Chris Rock one, or
Mm-hmm.
Socks? You talk about Socks?
Huh?
Saw 10
Oh no, no, it's not. It's this. It's from
or
the-
Jigsaw? Or
Yeah.
Which, oh, okay.
It's the one I don't know. I think it was last year or the year
There's too
before.
many.
I don't know. Either way, for a lot of these movies that just come out, like Aliens, I won't watch again because I just watch it and
Yeah.
my phone died. And I love being able to watch the old stuff and then compare it to the new stuff. There is really no comparison actually, but it's been great.
Did you ever watch like the Final Destination
I
films?
saw all of them
Okay.
in order.
And
Great.
did you watch all the Saw films?
I watched all the Saw films.
Oh my god.
Listen, I'm a big horror fan.
I know,
So
but I grew up watching the Saw films.
Yeah.
So like I stopped after like 7 because it didn't make sense anymore.
Oh
but
yeah, I don't think I saw the Chris Rock one, but I mean, for the most part, I watched all of them. I'm excited because for on Christmas, which we've already planned to go to, Nosferatu's coming out.
and Big Red, you're gonna see Big Red.
Big Red.
Or whatever the red one, or the Santa Claus movie
Ew,
with
no.
Chris Evans
Gross. I'm not watching that.
and The Rock.
No. But please, if you have any recommendations, let me know because I will watch it.
Watch it.
All right. So my beautiful sister Becca had a lovely poetry event actually last night. So while you were at your beach night, I was with we went to this event that my sister actually put together. You've actually went to one of her poetry events last time. It was out in Malibu. This one though was specifically, she put it together and it was really just her. Which was great. Brendan and my mom and I, we all went to downtown LA because that's where she had it. And it was really cute, intimate.
Yeah, and it's sold out, right? It
Yeah,
sold
it
out
sold
twice,
out.
technically.
Yeah. We were lucky enough that she got us tickets and we found great parking right up in the front. But it was really good time. It was a very safe space. There was essentially, I guess, the host, essentially to kind of ask some questions. It's another poet. We saw him before perform when me and Lissa had went last time. But it was great. There was a handful of people that went and he kind of just asked us a few questions. And it was, I don't know. I had a really good time. This is definitely different than the ones that we've seen before. Shout out to Brendan because he was very open and honest with a lot of the things that were asked of him, and he actually participated in it. And it's really one of those things where it's uncomfortable at times to be vulnerable, especially when there's a bunch of people around that you don't know.
Yeah.
But he got to see her and he loved it. It was an amazing time that he had. And I told him, next time we have any other events, to keep them in the loop, and to any of our other friends who come. But it was beautiful. My sister had a harp player, so when it was actually time for her to go up and perform her poems, which were maybe like 4 or 5 poems that she had a harpist essentially play while she was performing her poems.
That's sick.
Yeah, and it was great. I haven't seen that before, but it was beautiful to see.
Yeah.
It was a very dim lit, intimate, romantic environment.
Should have been there.
They had like different shots on the table. So Brendan partook in that, and I was driving, and one of the little shot glasses, I think it was like 21% alcohol. I was like, I'm just going to sip on
my
this.
God. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Because I needed to drive us home safely. I had precious cargo. Woo. Not Brendan, my mom.
Exactly.
But no,
Wow.
it was a really good time. So we do have something that we recorded so that we'll put up so you guys can see my sister and her beautiful environment.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It was great. Yeah, you'll have to come next time. I don't want to give away too much. We will put up one of the poems, but I don't want to give the other ones. You had to be there to see it, to experience it. It was it was an emotional time. I will say tears were shed. So,
Damn.
yeah.
I love real shit like that.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a space like that. So.
Real quick before we probably wrap this up, I do want to mention to everybody, I do think Kanan is unintentionally trying to kill me and my family. And I say that only because
What did I do now?
Okay. So Kanan is like notorious for finding new things and then showing it to like me and my family members, which some of them like, of course, are delicious and we love it. So Kanan introduced us to this diet soda drink, and
It's not diet.
it's diet, no sugar,
It's
no
zero sugar soda.
0 sugar, 0 calories, whatever. It's like a diet soda because there's no calories and there's no sugar. And they're tasty, delightful treats. And I think I've talked about this before because I'm very conscientious about my health and what I try to put into my body, and I record a lot of this stuff. I went on this spree of like buying all this diet soda. I haven't told you about
It's
this.
0 sugar soda. Stop saying diet. It's different.
Okay, 0 sugar, 0 calorie, whatever. he introduced us to it was the Dr. Pepper one, right? The Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper cream soda. And then
Strawberries and cream as well, yeah.
we went to the store, I think, before one podcast, and we had bought some, and I loaded up my refrigerator. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. 0 calories, 0 sugar. I don't have to worry about this. I can consume as much as I want because this has to be okay for you, right? So I think there was maybe like a week where I was consuming maybe 1 or 2 a day. And I'm like, this can't be healthy, right? So I don't know. I went down this deep, dark hole of like doing research on this. And I found some not so good things about these drinks. And now
Well, if you do any deep dive on anything, you're going to find that it's
so
not good
I
for
was
you.
like, Kanan is definitely trying to kill us. So now I maybe drink 1 a week because I refuse to put this into my body. So what I had looked up is like, I don't know. I think I maybe just Googled like, is essentially this soda good for you if it had whatever because of the no sugar, whatever. So essentially what this told me is like I can mess up my teeth. I can cause myself to have headaches.
Oh my God! You can mess up your teeth by drinking sparkling water. You can drink Propel and have it mess up
I
your
could
teeth.
decrease my bone density. So essentially, I'm already old. He's trying to make me older. I can have cardiovascular complications.
You can
have
cardiovascular implications by eating burgers.
Weight. I could now essentially have more sugar.
Have I
cravings because
looking
of
at me?
this.
Have I gained weight? Have I gained weight?
No comment. Just kidding. It could be
Oh, my.
linked to type 2 diabetes.
Okay, that one might be true because
Yeah,
I might
so-
be having that right now.
When I was looking this up, I think I was just going through. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just like, I don't want to drink any of this anymore.
But that's
So
literally anything.
it could be fine. It could be anything, but because this is what I noticed. I noticed that as I drank one, I had a craving for another one. And I'm like, ooh. And I already typically do not drink soda. I refuse to drink soda unless it's an alcohol. So if I go out, I'll have like a Whiskey 7 or possibly a Jack and Coke. But I don't usually or normally drink soda at all. So because this was 0-0, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. And I can put it into my daily consumption of like liquid for the day. As soon as I found this out, and I was just like, yeah, I feel like I'm wanting to have more of it, like with every meal. I'm like, this isn't good. And yeah, now I will only have it maybe once a week. It's not good, Kanan, and I think you should take it out of your lifestyle if you want to be healthier and drink more water. Anyway, that's all I had to say. If I wind up dead somewhere because I have a heart attack, I want you to check my refrigerator because I can guarantee you right next to me is going to be an open bottle of Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar.
It's going to be someone who had murdered you with a knife while drinking Dr. Pepper 0 sugar. That's going to be it. And it's going to be me.
This was exactly.
I will have created a knife from all the empty cans of 0 sugar Dr. Pepper.
I was like, oh, we immediately need to discuss this. And this immediately is now going to be cut out of my lifestyle choice.
And what's also great is Anna did not warn me ahead of time, so now I'm just kind of unprepared of what to even say to all this. I mean, I still have 2 full cases in my fridge, and I still have that 24-pack that my mom sent me for my birthday.
Oh, yeah, the open.
Yeah,
The open. Like, listen, I was really excited. And don't get me wrong, it tastes good. But for the fact that
I think anything in moderation. You just gotta be careful.
Yeah, but the thing is, I, for whatever reason, wanted it more than I should have wanted it. Like, I found myself, like, cracking it up open, like, late at night. It must have been 11. Like, oh, this is fine. It's 0 sugar. But it's not good. It's not good. And, you know, I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm putting into my body because I would like to live a long, healthy life. And it's your body, your choice. You can drink them as much as you want, but I just decided that I don't think it's for me anymore. And
so what you're saying is you're gonna give me your cans.
No, because my mom and my sister can consume it if they want. My mom, I told her she needs.
Oh, so so you're okay if you're
I'm not putting it into my body.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I get it. It's your life, sure. But I want the listeners to. You're putting this in the context. You're making it sound like I'm trying to kill you, but it seems like it's just a choice that you're making to not
He intentionally put it in my life for a reason. You know, it's like a slow build horror movie. It's just like, let me insert this into their life, and then I'm gonna slowly watch as they fall apart.
And it is just me existing. I'm gonna insert myself. This podcast is just a ruse for us to try new things, but slowly.
No, and I will say it sucks and it breaks my heart, but
What breaks your heart?
that I can't drink it anymore because it was delicious. But
I mean, I think you
can't.
got to give yourself a break. I think also
I
because you
will.
don't drink soda a lot, and also because it's really good. You know, it's just like the Jersey Mike's. You know, you get a little kick for it. You know.
Yeah, and what's going on with your Jersey Mike's?
I haven't had Jersey Mike's since
That's
the
wild.
episode.
I had Jersey Mike's the other day, and it was not good at all.
Oh God. Well, guess who's not our sponsor today? Jersey Mike's. Hey, and
guess
also,
who is? Dr.
and also, okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. It's not gonna kill you, but look at all this nerds rope or these nerds clusters that you have here.
First of all, those
that's gonna kill you, all
are
that sugar.
16 for 100.
I want you to do a deep dive into how bad the nerds is for you. Okay, you're gonna find some crazy shit.
Let's see.
We're gonna do it in
Nerds
real time right now.
Gummy clusters.
Is Nerds gummy clusters bad for you? And then do a deep. It's gonna link to diabetes. It's gonna link to the heart health. It's gonna link to. I want you to use the same websites you used for the Dr. Peppers.
This big thing in highlight said no one should be eating Nerds gummy clusters. What?
What? You're slowly killing yourself.
Oh my God. This is the little, yeah. This is,
The
yeah.
little what? The little.
Oh my God. If the stomach, oh God. The stomach says I ate too much. Oh, that's buttered popcorn with gummy worms. With the gummy clusters, I got a stomach pain. Okay, anyways. Okay, yeah.
Well, what if-
These are addicting as well. Like, I literally reach in for a handful because they're only 100 calories for 16, so I try not to go over that. But I will say this is what I use them for. I saw something because I am an active runner, and usually on Sundays I go on long runs, and I had seen from people that are active runners that go on these long runs that they take them for a little burst of like sugar so that they have like that extra sugar rush when they're running. So that's what I did. Like on Sunday I went for a long run and I pack them into my little running vest. So then I like, when I'm on my like, I don't know, 5th or 6th mile, I'm just like pounding the
Or
sugar.
my first mile. Yeah.
I'm pounding the sugar so that I can essentially just make it through my route. But yeah,
But
they're
you're running in
addicting.
your home?
Huh?
But you're running in your home? That's why you need those little clusters there?
You know, every now and then, I like to have a handful with my diet, Dr.
Because the sugar evens out because you're not getting sugar.
Little do you
So.
know, I'm talking all this shit, but as soon as he leaves, I'm going to have for dinner Nerds and a diet Dr. Pepper.
I'm glad we could clear that up.
Yeah,
That's
because
great.
they're fantastic. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. There's other things that I shouldn't be eating, but they're just so good. And you just...
Because I took it personal when you said you drink 2 to 3 a day. I'm like, that's what I'm currently doing. I got to get rid of them somehow, and I'm not going to dump them out.
I couldn't. When I'm going, yeah. When you go from not drinking soda to all of a sudden you're drinking 2 to 3 cans a day.
Yeah.
Listen. I just recently got done doing like Invisalign and like teeth whitening and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
I paid thousands of dollars. I'm like, I can't afford again to have my teeth like.
Yeah.
You know, going to any doctor is expensive, even if you have insurance. So, yes, it's just being mindful of what you're putting in and just the amount you're doing it in.
Right.
Moderation.
It's all about portion control,
Yeah.
and you got it. So, like, yeah.
But for
'Cause,
me,
like,
I
here's
just
the
did-
thing. They always say, like, the huge thing, like, Hershey's chocolate. Is it good for you or is it bad for you? Because sometimes you'll see people reviewing it or like people, you know, doing studies and it's like, oh, it's bad for you. But then some people are like, you know, some studies are like, oh, it's actually good for you because
like
it
red
releases.
wine. It's good to have 1 cup of red wine, not the bottle of red wine.
Exactly. So
But one,
portion control. Maybe one a day,
no,
once a week.
maybe once a week. I can honestly say I don't know when I looked this up because I did put it in my notes to talk about it on the podcast.
Yes.
And my mom can vouch that as soon as I looked it up and I was going off all these things, I've had one since then, and it's been maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. But that again, that's just me. That's just me.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's going to wrap it up for tonight.
Yep. So thank you all for listening in to episode 3 of The Sip and Truth.
The Sippin' Truth.
C'est la vie and au revoir.